Blockbusters. You are listening to the Triple B Podcast. Let's fucking go.
Welcome back to the Triple B Podcast, Bourbon Belts and Blockbusters. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Tim.
We're back to sip on some bourbon. We got our winner
Our King of the Burbs
of
tournament.
our King of the Burbs tournament right here with the Woodinville Bourbon Whiskey, the Applewood Staves. We'll get to that here in just a second. We're going to talk about some wrestling. We're going to talk about some movies.
Hell yes.
My brother.
Oh, testify.
Oh, good pull. I like that. I like that. We're back, man.
We are back.
We are here. We have our winner of our King of the Burbs tournament. We have been for the last 3 weeks now. Started with our 16 Burbs.
Boy, did we.
Yeah, we did. It was a good one. That was a fun one to film. We had 15 that we've had previously on the show, plus one mystery bourbon that ended up being the was that the brown?
The vanilla.
Yeah, brown vanilla bean. And we dwindled it down from the 16 to 4, then from the 4 to 2, and from the 2 to the 1. The actual finals will be posted on our socials that we'll get to here in just a second. But the Woodinville Applewood Staves Bourbon took home the crown. And
the runner-up, the Wolcott, is going to be utilized in a special cocktail next week. So.
yes, it will. We will have the bottle placed up here on the pedestal in betwixt, if you will, Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes, who are fighting today for the King of the Ring at Night of Champions in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
Yes, they are.
Brother,
Cheers, man.
cheers.
What a fun tournament.
Hell yeah, man. That was a great idea. I know it was a coworker.
Coworker Brittany Lund,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Shout out. Oh, yeah. Now we're going to
Still
come
a
up with
10.
more.
Still a 10.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. We're going to have to come up with more ideas, more things like this type of idea. I don't know. Can't really do another bourbon tournament per se, but I guess.
Not now.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
do a Royal Rumble. Let's just get sloshed.
Get fucking hammered. We got 30 bourbons every 30 seconds. We're going to take another shot. The last one standing between the two of us gets to pick which one we like the most.
Whatever one knocks us out last is the winner.
Yeah. We could do something with cocktails, though.
Yeah.
Like, for real. We could actually do something with cocktails. That would be a little bit more intricate
Yeah.
and logistical, but
We can start planning something.
Yeah, we can maybe figure something out. Anyways,
Yeah.
Great idea. Thank you. You said Brittany?
Brittany,
Thank you so much.
absolutely. That brings us over to our socials. You can find us on Instagram, X, YouTube, TikTok. We are at Trip B Pod. You can find us on Spotify, Apple, Amazon. We are the Triple B Podcast, Bourbon Belts and Blockbusters. And you could shoot us an email at triplebpod619@gmail.com. Shoot us your ideas, any questions of the week you might want us to ask each other, a bourbon recommendation, a tournament idea, whatever you got. We love to hear from you.
All right, that brings us to this week's rendition of our weekly fact check.
Hell yeah.
Fact checking on last week's episode. It is my turn this week, and I didn't get out quite as unscathed as I usually do.
Excellent.
So I got 6 things on here. I feel like I'm usually about 3 or 4 things on the weeks that I have to do it. So we doubled my workload. But yeah, none of them were like crazy stuff. It was really just kind of some follow-up stuff for the most part.
Okay.
But I'll just start here. Is R-Truth actually the last standing superstar from the Attitude Era? And the answer is yes, he is.
Damn.
He is the last 100% the last full-time wrestler. I think he's the only one left still wrestling in the WWE at all.
Yeah.
Outside of like if Trish does come back for the women's evolution for like a one-off here and there type thing, right? But he is the last full-time wrestler still from the Attitude Era, which is fucking wild. Like we said last week, just the fact that it's like R-Truth of all characters who you would not have ever expected that to be
Especially
the case.
that run, like he was K-Quick at the time.
Yeah, right, yeah. And yeah, so yeah, he is the last one. We start talking about the women's tag titles and just the shit show of which that just is in its existence, honestly. Yeah. But and I kind of went off on like a little tangent of like, because you had said like, well, then they need that, then they better do something with the tag titles. And I was like, but who? Like, there aren't any women's tag teams. And I went and looked.
I think there's just 2.
The best that I could. And I said, women's actual tag teams. I said, there are 2. If we're counting the Secret Hervis.
I do. I will.
Okay. And Natty and Maxine.
Which have been in one tag team match that I could think of.
And I followed this up with, which I don't. So I said 0 outside of Raquel and Liv.
Yeah.
Like the Secret Hervis is a faction. They're not a tag team. Because you could have Piper and Chelsea have teamed up before. Are they a tag team?
New Day. New Day was the Freebird style. You could move one piece in and out. You still count them as a tag team.
I guess, yeah. I'll give us Secret Hervis.
Okay, all right.
I'm not giving us Natty and Maxine until something actually fucking happens with it.
But the fact
they've been in one match. They haven't done anything else. They've just been backstage together a few times.
The fact is that no one is after them. Like,
yeah.
if they're a title,
yeah.
Why is no one after them?
Yeah.
Why doesn't anyone mention them other than, hey, you're still tag team champion, just loosely, when Finn is talking to Raquel on Monday. So, yeah.
And so, if we're counting those 2, plus Liv and Raquel as the champs, there's 3 women's tag teams on the roster, main roster, SmackDown and Raw. And one of which is probably breaking up within the next 6 months upon Liv's return, once what we're assuming is going to happen takes place and Roxanne ends up taking her place.
Yeah.
Right? So then I guess you could argue that Raquel and Roxanne would be a tag team. But again, it's like we have nothing that is like they're just randomly thrown together.
Yeah.
Secret Hervis is at least an actual group with a name. I guess, the Judgment Day, but like they're all just randomly brought into this random connection of a group now. So
agreed.
Next up, I was on another tangent. I was on my Goldberg tangent. And I was like, Goldberg hasn't had a good match in the WWE since before 2002. Yeah. I may have been a little out of pocket. I don't know. We'll see after this. I looked up Goldberg's matches since 2002 in the WWE. Yeah. He's had, quite a few. He's had quite a few. Most of which I don't remember being that great of quality. Mm-hmm. I want to say maybe KO, maybe the match against KO where he won the title could have been, just because KO is that good. But I legit couldn't remember it all that well. Which then it kind of made me that's why I kind of put the question where I was like, could it have been? Is it just my brain fog getting me, or was it actually not a memorable match?
I don't think it was memorable.
Outside of that,
I'm pretty sure it was quick, and I was pissed off that
because
KO
I know,
lost,
but that's been like most of his matches since he has come back. Like
Yeah.
he hasn't really done a good full long match, and it was like him and Taker was fucking terrible because that was in Saudi, and he got fucking concussed backstage before he even fucking came to the ring.
Yeah.
Right? Like him and Brock, that's just never been good.
I mean, there was some they're not decent, but like some of their bouts were interesting at least. But no, not
Him and Roman.
no.
Yeah.
No.
Him and Dolph Ziggler.
No.
It was essentially a squash match.
He squashed the Fiend.
Yeah,
Which I'm
yeah,
pissed
exactly.
about,
That's what and that's kind of where I was like, I can't remember the KO match, so that's why I put it on as like maybe, but I know the other ones that I was reading. I was like, no, this is not these. None of these aren't good.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I stand by it. I think what I said may have actually been relatively factual.
Yeah.
As factual as an opinion could get, at least I think.
I want to say there was one like that wasn't like a quick squash. It was different. And I remember going, well, this has been better than the norm, but nothing great. Nothing great. So I will agree with you.
We talked about Cena's pipe bomb actually quite a bit last week, obviously. And we talked about how he dropped God damn it! Now I'm gonna Claudio,
Castagnoli.
Nick and Matt references, and how you were saying that you thought that it totally could have been in reference to Colt Cabana and then Nick and Matt Jackson,
Nicholas and Matthew.
Yeah. I also completely this was without even looking into this at all. This was just like during the week I was on Facebook or something, and I saw that same reference that we were talking about, and how that wasn't just you thinking that that it was in reference to AEW, but this post that I saw was like, but I think that it actually could have been in reference to this, and it cut to a CM Punk interview backstage before Rock Cena 2. He was wearing a Cesaro shirt. CM Punk was wearing a Cesaro shirt, and while being asked about that match and how essentially his whole response is like, why would I care about Rock and Cena 2? So he was throwing shade at the match prior to the match happening, and then talked about Dolph Ziggler and talked about was it Zack Ryder? Was Matt Cardona, right? Yeah, and Zack Ryder, and
that makes
so
more
he's
sense.
wearing a Cesaro shirt. Talked about both of them in that, and he was talking shit about The Rock or the Cena's match with The Rock.
Yeah.
So but he did also mention the whole sharing of a locker room and how I like you more than most people you've shared a locker room with.
Yeah.
Shortly before he then said that, so it could have just been creatively genius that he was doing both, right?
That's pretty cool.
There's no obviously Cena hasn't come out and said, "Oh yeah, this is what I was referencing specifically." So it's all just speculative, but. I just thought it was interesting, so I want to throw that up. It was there is a video of an interview of Punk referencing all three of the people that Cena referenced.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was interesting.
That is, I like it.
Moving over to the Blockbusters section from last week. We only had two things in there, and one is just a clarification. Yes, Wilson Bethel plays Bullseye in both the Netflix Daredevil and the new Daredevil Born Again.
Okay.
And Summer Blockbusters. We kind of didn't really go back and forth, but it was just kind of like a quick little conversation about the time frame of Summer Blockbusters. Everything I can find is May to early September.
Oh God.
And it all it all is in reference to two things really, and it's the fact that those were the months schools are out, so theaters are always tend to be a lot busier, right? Because families and kids and everything go to the theaters a lot more during summer. And also it was probably the bigger point was theaters way back in the day. Theaters were like one of the like best spots that you could go to get out of the summer heat because they were AC'd.
Yeah, makes sense.
And so like those summer months when it's hot as hell, people would go to the movies to go see a good show and get out of the heat for a little bit.
Yeah.
And it said that the summer of 1975 really kicked that off with Jaws. Jaws was like
Way to kick it off.
Yeah, was like one of the biggest ones. So thought that was interesting.
I like
That's
that.
what I got for the fact check.
Hell,
That's it.
Yeah.
That brings us to belts. Let's go.
Ding, ding, ding.
My brother Timothy, what do you want to talk about?
I got a few things.
Yeah?
A few things to talk about
Got
on
the
Raw.
cups.
The Seth Riders. Shout out Justin who was scrolling through social media and said people are calling the group Seth Riders.
The Seth Riders.
I thought that was funny. But they opened up the show, and I said it last week, when these guys are on TV, it's good stuff. And has it lost a little luster? A little bit. But what really resonated with me was just what Seth was talking about. And he really has been a linchpin since coming up to the main roster from NXT. And he's been in everything big, pretty much, essentially. And maybe not exactly what he said, but a lot of things wouldn't happen without him in those scenarios. And so it's, again, just that what he's saying is true. He's coming across as a big time heel and everything, but he's not throwing a lot of not factual things out there, right? Like, I mean, he's been such a big prominent part, and I kind of regret not putting him in my Mount Rushmore from the belts question. That one's tough because you can only pick 4 for a decade. Yeah, but Seth is right there on, if not in, the top spot, you know. And I really liked it. It really didn't. I guess the biggest thing I liked about it was just his final closing line was, "I'm the finish line. I'm the end game." Him getting the championship and everyone going through him, and I like it. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, same. I love this group. I love what they're doing with it. I do agree with you that I do think it's stalled a little bit, maybe. And I think part of that is because I feel like it should have been booked. Like, no one in this group should have been made to look bad yet. Mm-hmm. No one in this group should have taken an L. Yeah. Now, that is also with me recognizing that I did say with Jay winning the Fatal 4-Way, was that last week? That was last week's Raw, right? That I liked that because it kind of protected Sheamus. It protected Rusev also. Now that I'm kind of thinking back on it, I'm like, no, like Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman, even, like, none of them right now in the early, the infancy of this group it should just be destruction. Yeah. That's all it should be. It should just be absolute domination and destruction and just wreaking havoc fully across the Raw roster. Yeah. And I think that's where that kind of stall feel has, because at first that's what it felt like. Yeah. And then we had, obviously, the situation with Braun in the one Fatal 4-Way. Then we had Bronson Reed in the other Fatal 4-Way. And now it's like, okay, they've done essentially nothing but take L's. Yeah. Since they've created the faction, they're either attacking people or they're losing matches. Yeah. Right? So, and that's just kind of, that it's just I mean, I know it's hard to balance, but at some point you got to just be comfortable. If you're going to lean into this creatively, you got to be comfortable having some of your top stars take losses.
Yeah.
And that means Jey Uso maybe takes a loss because of this group. And if it's done that way and it's done the right way, then that's not hurting Jey Uso to take a loss there. He's taken a loss in so many other fucking situations, bullshittingly.
So over.
And he's still so over, right? Like, you can have these big names, Orton, Cody, you can have all these guys take these L's, and it's not going to hurt them because this group is what this group is. But not having them take the L's is hurting this group and the push that you're trying to put on this group.
Yeah.
That's the...
And they got it so... They have it so easy with a group like the Seth Riders, whatever. I think that's part of the stalling, too, is there's no name, no theme music to the group, so that could be part of it. But
that's also because you're not going to go away from Seth's theme music.
No, that's true.
Seth's theme music might be the second best theme music in the
you get the
company
crowd going. But if you go back to the Attitude Era, Stone Cold could take a loss, and that did not take anything away from him.
Rock, Triple H, like
none of those
Taker,
people, took a step down after a loss. People can take a loss.
Yeah.
And it will be fine.
Nobody can always cleanly win matches and like that just be the way it is.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's wrestling. People are going to lose.
And if that's your way of making someone feel big, is just protecting them in every match, that's not making a
Look
big
at Sami
star.
Zayn.
Yeah.
He might be the best possible fucking example of this.
Bro loses all the time.
I'd be curious what his actual fucking record is in the last 2 years, because it's like, god damn, man.
It's true.
He loses so many matches, but he's still so important.
Yes.
And still one of the top dudes in the company right now, So yeah, it's just that the whole, I think it should have just been dominance.
Yeah.
For the summer almost, right? Like, none of them take an L, none of them are embarrassed, nothing, until a specific SummerSlam or whatever the fuck it needs to be, right?
Yeah.
Because now it just feels like we've already had that, and it's just kind of like,
Yeah.
No.
Now if they lose, it's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal. It's just like, oh, okay, they lost.
I mean, Seth losing might be a big deal. That might be the only thing. And then they just got to stop with the, like, I like a good long story build, but this is not this is something that should have some building blocks each and every week. It's a big group in its infancy. You got to keep putting wood on the fire for these guys and driving it along. And it just, the only thing that I can see a direction to right now is Money in the Bank, cash in, and then LA Knight feud between Seth Rollins and him. But those are the only things I see.
Yeah, but then you have the weird kind of like Penta.
Yeah.
You stay out of my way.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, so obviously that's something. So now Penta's going to be involved in this somehow, some way, which, I love Penta, but that just doesn't really make sense.
Yeah. I guess the lingering one is Roman Reigns. I guess that's the only thing, but who knows when he'll come back. So, anywho's, that's that.
Yeah.
Next up, Gunther. His spiel. I didn't care about Goldberg's little interview or anything, but...
Yeah, no. Why would you?
Gunther just... speaking his mind, and I think he was an outlet for us fans, or a lot of fans that feel the same way. And this isn't 1999 anymore. Just move aside and everything. So it was one of Gunther's best promos.
I agree. I loved it. I thought it was awesome.
He was just tearing into Goldberg. I like that.
I was living vicariously through him because he was saying exactly what I think.
I literally was watching. I was like, "Is that Ryan speaking?" Ryan took over Gunther.
Did he just steal Ryan's rant from last week's episode?
But it was a great promo, and it makes him feel like a big time heel. I hope it's not a Goldberg winning in the long run. I think just use this as, I want Gunther to basically do a squash match on Goldberg.
Yeah.
make him feel dominant, and put Goldberg out to pasture.
Yeah. Like I said last week, man, you better hope Goldberg doesn't win that fucking match.
It's going to be a lonely belt section.
Yes, it will.
Next up. Fucking bullshit. Bullshit. I hate it.
Which thing? Which part?
Non-finishers. Becky Lynch and Bayley. They were having a banger of a match.
I know.
And they cannot finish these matches. They don't ever
I know.
finish these awesome matches.
I know.
We've complained about it a lot. I think this
one made 0 sense.
No.
It made 0 sense.
It's just,
Like the way it happened made no sense at all.
I can't stand it anymore. It's lazy booking. There's different ways to drive home a triple threat match. I mean, they've been doing it in the backstage with Bayley and Lyra already. You don't need this. Just have Becky Lynch win. You weren't going to have Bayley win. Just have Becky Lynch win. It's not going to do anything. These guys put on such a good match, and then you just end it like that, and it's so deflating. I was ready to put it in my banger of the week consideration, and then I was like, no, I'm not even gonna.
Yeah.
And it's sad for those two because they tore the house down, and then
the match was fucking awesome.
And then, I mean, I don't know if other fans feel the same way. I know you do, at least. And it's just, you takes it out of it. And it's stupid. It's lazy. And I don't like it.
Yeah. And this one, it wasn't even like a good setup to it or anything. It was like, oh, they had the moment with Lyra out there and then you thought it was done. And then all of a sudden, literally out of nowhere, Lyra just slides in and attacks Becky.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I hated it. It actually, like, it made me, when I think even more so, it made me actually be annoyed with Lyra.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like,
it just kind of takes away everything
is hurtful to her character too. Then,
yeah,
because now it's like, oh, now she just looks like a little bitter toddler, upset about things. It's just like, fuck. That is a Becky Lynch move right now with the character that she is.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we've gone on weeks of talking about how good Lyra and Becky were, and then you just do this shit, and it's so dumb. It's just dumb, and it just goes back to what we were just talking about. It's okay for someone to take a loss. Bayley is not going to be taken down a pedestal at all.
Her career's not going to end by losing to Becky Lynch again. They've both lost to each other so many times.
Yeah, it's just finish off
and
a
the
banger
first
of a
time we've
match.
seen them in a singles match in like 2 years or whatever it was, and that's how you end it. It's like, fuck you. It feels like a fucking slap in the face to the fan base.
It does. It really does.
Yeah. It's super disappointing.
It's
it's unfortunate.
You get the crowd so into it, and then you just booze, when they finish it like that. So, all right, I'm off my soapbox there. Lastly, gotta talk about the main event. Cody and Jay tore the house down.
Dude,
it was so good.
Yeah, man.
Randy alluded to it on SmackDown.
Yes,
it was
match of the year worthy.
It was a phenomenal match, and this just makes me a little more angry about Jay losing the title so quickly. It just, he's done nothing but shine since he got the title. I know there's a lot of complaints.
Broke free from the fucking bloodline, he's done nothing but just this.
There was like that little lull leading into the the WrestleMania match, but then again, the Seth Rollins match kind of just reset everything, and it's just been nothing but good things for him, man. This match was good. I think Cody winning is the right move in the end of things. It really, there's just so much story to be told between either Randy Orton or Cody winning the King of the Ring tournament, so it just makes sense.
And there's so much story between Orton and Cody.
Yeah,
right, just
exactly.
themselves. But then you have the the fucking I feel like we're talking about the Marvel multiverse here, because you have like one branch of the timeline of Cody and Cena, and then one branch of the timeline of Orton and Cena.
Yeah.
But then you have the them.
Yeah.
The history between just those two in it itself. So,
but it was just a great moment for Raw. It was just a great match and did not have a piss poor finish. It was just two big dudes going at each other and giving it all, and ends with the Crossroads, and it was a great match.
A fucking
it
beautiful
was brutal.
Crossroads too.
It
looked like Jay went straight to the side of his face and nothing else.
I said, ooh.
But the reversal of the Crossroads into Jay hitting the Crossroads was fucking dope too.
Yeah.
And Cody can take his own move pretty well also.
Yes, he can.
Like, I really liked it. I thought it was a great match. It really was. It's one of the best matches that we've had in a while. Mm-hmm. So it was
with a clean finish.
With a clean finish, yeah. It was awesome.
Yeah.
So,
all right, that's what I got for Raw.
All right. Bringing me over down to the SmackDown. Outside of the technical difficulties that they had experienced, about.
Were you able to watch
4 minutes
the rest of the promo?
Yeah, because they fixed it.
On Netflix?
On Netflix. They fixed it. And it's not from the TV angle.
Yeah,
it's from like the side cameras and stuff. But I was like, this is almost fucking cooler for a promo, because it gave it a completely different feel. You're seeing the different angles of Cody and Randy. But yeah, I was able to see the whole thing. So
yeah, okay, good. Because I did watch, because they fixed it for cable. I wanted to see how it was going to be portrayed on cable, because it aired early, obviously because of being in Saudi, but then cable still comes on at 8 for me, so I watched it and it had those angles that you were talking about.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you saw that same thing.
Yeah, but then it just,
I thought it was cool.
It was a little disorienting in parts, like it wasn't fully there, but yeah, it was a kind of cool perspective.
I liked it. I thought angles. it was just new, and I know it was like not meant to be that way, and that's not how they would have preferred it to be. But I liked it. I thought it was.
It was cool that the show went on, and they were able to capture it.
Yeah, for sure.
And I was like, I gotta know what they say, because it was a pretty fire promo. So, anyway, sorry. On to your talking points. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to point out, like, that was part of the talking point, just because the promo itself, like, even without the weird, the camera angles and the weirdness of it, like, getting cut out, and I was just like, the whole time I was watching it yesterday too, and earlier today, I was like, fuck, man, I was like, I'm never gonna know what the fuck was said. Like, I don't know what the fuck, and I don't know. I just thought the whole promo was like really solid back and forth between them. They both are just spitting truths and facts about things, but you feel it for both of them, Mm-hmm. And that's one thing that we didn't talk about really was the Final Four of the King of the Ring tournament were all faces.
Yeah.
They're all, it was Sammy, Jay, Orton, and Cody. Mm-hmm. That is new to me. I don't know, it was interesting that I was like, when have we ever had fucking 4 faces in a
That's true.
in a finals of anything, right? Like, so then it was like, no matter how it shook out, you're having face versus face in the finals for the King of the Ring, because like last year it was Nia and Lyra and Gunther and Randy, right? It was like heel, face, right? And I feel like that's usually how things are booked. But this was not even like 1 heel and 3 faces, or 3 heels and 1 face. This was 3 faces, so it didn't matter, or 4 faces, so it didn't matter who it was. You were getting face versus face, and so I thought that was cool. But I think definitely this is the right outcome, is Cody versus Orton here, and that the promo that they put on, I don't know. I really liked it. I thought it did a really good setup for their match, and I
like
drove
that,
home a lot of points.
I like, and Cody alluded to it, I like that the past few weeks he's been cut off from talking, and so then he gets to pour his heart out about this tournament in a big time fashion with Randy Orton's, right before the finals. And so I did really like that. And it was kind of a cool twist, because Cody always gets his words in, and this was different. He kept on getting cut
Yeah.
off and everything. So I like how he did that. It was just, it feels like there's stakes for both of them.
Yes.
And again, like I alluded to from my Raw talking points, is it feels like it's the right two for the finals, and they both have a point to go after Cena in the long run of things. So either way, whatever branch they decide to go down, I'm here for it.
Yep, same. My next talking point here is the tag team situation on SmackDown. A couple different things here. The DIY versus Andrade and Rey Fenix match.
So good.
Fucking great match.
So good.
Holy shit, it was a great match. There were some sloppy parts to it, for sure. I don't know what Johnny Gargano was doing with the moonsault where he rolls away and supposed to hit another moonsault.
Yeah.
He botched that. He did not roll right. He didn't roll fast enough. He didn't roll far enough. Whatever. He almost got a fucking backflip landing feet straight onto his fucking sternum. Like,
the moonsault
I was like,
coup de grace going on.
I know, right? The crew d'assault.
Love it.
But I was just like, oh my God, he almost just died. Like, what the fuck? And then I just love, because it was like obviously awkward.
Yeah.
Andrade lands and he just drops down onto him, because it's like, what the fuck else do you do? So I it made me laugh, but I was also like, holy shit, that was almost bad.
Yeah.
And there were a couple other spots that I'm kind of spacing on. I'm yawning a lot. I'm sorry. I feel like this is the most so far in the first part of the show in a while. But yeah, and I know there were. I'm spacing on exactly what they were. There were a couple other moments throughout where it was kind of like, oh, that didn't go how they wanted it to. But it didn't matter. And I think that's the important part, is there was nothing that, like, I didn't linger on any of it, where there's like certain things where it's like a botch will happen and then you just like can't get past it throughout the rest of the match. This was like, they're so good that it's just like, okay, move on.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Shit happens, whatever, move on. And they still put on a fucking great match.
The good thing is they move fast,
Yeah.
like in
Yeah,
everything.
right. Yeah, true.
And so it's just like, even when
there is a botch, you might fucking miss it.
yeah, and then Andrade just quickly adapting and just doing, like, it wasn't great, but it just happened so quickly after that. It wasn't like well, what the fuck do I do now? Linger. Yeah. It was just quick decision and moved on. And I know we've talked about that too, where it's just, you gotta just go through it, and everything. Yeah. So they did a great job with that.
Next thing about the tag situation was the tag championship match between Street Profits and the White Six.
Yeah.
It is another DQ finish. They're just racking those up with this whole tag team division right now. Now, I will say that this one didn't seem as brutal as like the Becky and Bayley match, right? Because there was nothing special about this match in any way, shape, or form. It was, to me, in all honesty, it was kind of boring to me. Mm-hmm. The actual match itself, I was just kind of like, I kind of expected a little more. I don't know. Like, I just didn't feel like I feel like we're used to these fucking bangers of tag matches on SmackDown, and this just wasn't even close.
To me, the match felt out of nowhere. I didn't know that they were going to go for the tag titles, and I thought there was going to just be more. I thought there was going to be more build up, because they were talking about all these tag teams that were going to go against the Wyatts first and everything. And I don't know. I thought there should have been bigger build up to the Wyatts going for the titles because of what has been going on. And I guess I did miss it where they announced the match and everything. But I was just like, why so soon, when they have a whole division they could dominate through before they get to the tag titles?
Yeah, agreed. And if it makes you feel any better, during the DIY match after that match ended, I literally wrote in my notes, I wrote what I wrote here. I said DIY match. There were sloppy parts, but the match was still fire. But then I had a line that said, but, and let me get fully through this point before you say anything, because you're going to be like, what the fuck? I wrote, but why are the tag champs taking a clean loss here? It makes no sense to me.
Uh-huh.
And then I kept watching SmackDown, and then the Street Profits showed up on the screen with the tag titles, and I was like, oh, that's right. DIY's not the fucking tag champs anymore. So, like, that, to a point, like, that's not good when you forget who the tag team champions are.
Yeah.
Right? Like, because there's so littly much going on with it on SmackDown. Yeah. Right? Like, it's like almost the exact opposite issue from Raw, where, like, there's nothing happening for the tag division on Raw. Like, nothing. You have almost way fucking too much going on now on SmackDown. And that was the last couple things I wrote here was like, what lane are we in right now? Like, where are we going with this? We need, like, let's figure this out. Yeah. Because it just feels like, okay, now we have 6 or 7 fucking tag teams. If Andrade and Rey Fenix somehow wedge their way into this, what are we doing here? Yeah. What is the end all here with this so that we can move on to a more, I don't know, traditional kind of fucking pathway, I guess, with a titles and tag and it's everything. Like, it just feels so chaotic now that, like, at first we were like, this is fucking dope. Yeah. Because they're, like, spotlighting everything. But then it was just like the way that you just made the White Six look like shit last night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which, again, that should be like another kind of the Seth Riders, right? Like, we should be making these teams look fucking dominant. And that's how we ended that. Like, not only was there the DQ, so they lose, but, or maybe they did win. I don't know where the DQ actually fully came from. Now that I'm thinking about it, no, they did lose because they fucking attacked. Los Garza's attacked Street Profits outside the ring, right? And that's when the ref called it. So the White Six did lose that via DQ, and then you have them just essentially get their asses kicked.
Yeah.
And didn't really show out in any way, shape, or form. Even like Eric Rowan, he like sends Eric Rowan in, and that didn't fucking do anything. He threw Johnny Gargano down, or Ciampa down, I think it was, and then got fucking quadruple super kicked out of the ring. Yeah. Like, what the fuck? I don't know. I was really excited about the tag situation on SmackDown for a while, but now I'm like quickly finding that I'm like, okay, we need, now it just feels like creative doesn't know what the fuck to do. You guys all just go out there and punch each other.
I don't know. I feel like that's just the creative as a whole right now. There's some good stuff. It's like the main, like Cena Punk is really good. Yeah. The King of the Ring tournament feels pretty good. Yeah. But then everything else is just kind of, it's just, I don't know. I don't know what they're trying to do with it. And to your point, there's got to be a balance. You can't do what Raw is doing, which is nothing. But you can't have too much going on, because what is that leading to? If it's some kind of specialty match, what is that specialty match? Because if it's like Elimination Chamber, that's not until February or
right.
Like, because that would explain all these tag teams, but you're not going to do like a TLC match with 6 teams, right? Or I don't know. It just
it is weird. And that's like, could we be making our way towards the invention of a new stipulation, which could be cool. Yeah. If that's where it goes, then okay, I'm good with it. But I don't feel like that's where it's going to go.
No, and it's just again, it's just a lot of non-finishes leading to nothing.
Have the Street Profits clean? Like,
they won the TLC match cleanly, as clean as a TLC match could finish.
Yeah. But just a straightforward defense of the titles. Has there been a clean finish?
I don't think so, Mike.
Because didn't them against Motor City end in DQ? Them against Fraxium.
Fraxium won.
Not the tag title.
The titles match.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, that ended in DQ.
That ended DQ, yeah.
And then last night's ended in DQ.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, we've had some tag matches end clean, but the title defenses outside of TLC
has been DQ.
I think has been all DQ almost every time.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to figure something else out. Freddie Prinze Jr. Is he still one of the writers? No, he's not.
Not anymore.
Well, I'm sure.
Maybe we should bring him back.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Fuck. Let him come back now that Vince is gone and see what he can come up with. Next thing I have is I feel like Jade's gonna win Queen of the Ring, but I don't think she should. I really don't think she should, and it's not that I think Asuka should. Any other year, I would probably say yes, Asuka should, but just the fact that it's literally like she came back, re-debuted essentially in the tournament, and now could go win it. I don't really like that either. Jade just doesn't have it for me right now. The promo that she gave last night was fucking terrible. It was awful. She's not good on the mic. She does not have good character work at all, and there's not really anything outside of, okay, she's kind of a powerhouse, I guess. She's not amazing in the ring. No. Like there's, the majority of the women's roster is more talented, more skilled, and better than her in the ring. Yeah. So it's just, I don't know. She just doesn't have the it factor for me, at least, to where I'm like, but then again, they had fucking Nia Jax win Queen of the Ring last year. So there's really they have no respect for their own roster. Yeah, I think at this point.
I think the only good thing going for Jade right now is the Naomi side of things. She brings
how fucking gross is that?
Exactly. It's
just be like, the only reason you're moderately relevant right now is because of this other person that nobody can fucking stand either. Yeah.
And then for me, Asuka is showing a new almost back to her NXT days. Granted it's a short preview of what it was, but I thought her promo last night was just back into the old Asuka, which I was excited.
I loved her portion of it.
Yeah,
I want to point that out. I loved Asuka's portion of this because it kind of made Jade look even worse. Yeah. Right. Because it's like Asuka's just fucking playing to the crowd and being herself. Yeah. And then you have Jade that's just like this fucking robot of a person.
There's just no reaction for it. There's nothing.
No, it's just not good. But she's going to win. And
it's what you predicted.
I know. I'm tired of both
of our predictions are still going.
Which one was yours?
Cody.
Oh, that's right. That's true. Yeah, that is true.
Jade and
I unfortunately predicted Naomi winning the fucking Money in the Bank, so I'm going to stop predicting shit that I don't actually want to happen. Because if Jade does win this, I'm going to be like, do I need to go fucking play the lottery or some shit? What the fuck is going on? Except it needs to be something I don't want to happen. I want to play the lottery to lose $100,000. That would probably happen somehow. Fuck. Yeah. And finally, the main event segment of SmackDown. Yes, this means I'm skipping over the last women's standing match because nobody fucking cares. It was nothing special. It was Tiffany Stratton getting the shit beat out of her and miraculously getting up by the 10 count, and then her putting Nia Jax through 2 tables and her not being able to stand back up. Yeah. Which is a really bad look after CM Punk took a fucking FU through a table last week and then sat and then laid there in the table for 15 minutes while Cena talked without even fucking moving. But Tiffany can take a fucking splash off the ring apron through a fucking table by Nia fucking Jax and get back up in 9 seconds.
Which because I was bothered by that last week, how long Punk was laying there. But I was like, oh, Cena did that 14 years ago. But then they showed like a clip from it.
Cena's
and
in the corner.
He moved to
Yeah.
the other corner to
Yeah.
watch it. And I was like,
Yeah.
duh. I
Yep.
totally spaced that part. And
I know.
was
And,
like,
and to say, this is not an issue on the Tiffany Stratton Nia Jax
No.
part. This is an issue on the fact that how long Punk laid in the fucking table last week. But I'm just saying, that looks really fucking bad. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a good look back-to-back weeks when you have table spots and they're drastically different situations. Like, the Nia Jax spot was 1,000 times more devastating
yeah.
than an FU through the table.
Yeah.
But
you got right up from an
I know. It didn't even fucking bother me. It was tossing you into the air and you landing on my head that bothered me. Still kind of bothers me. I mean, I'm just happy that we're doing the King of the Burbs tournament the last 3 weeks. I haven't had to take a bump. But anyways, it's neither here nor there. That is not my talking point. My talking point is the actual main event segment of the night, which was Punk Life. Punkonomics.
Basic punkonomics.
You get Cena out, gives a little spiel, talking shit, doing good. I enjoyed it. And then you have Cena's fucking OG music hit. I guess not OG music, because it wasn't the prototype music, but the OG music from when his character actually took off. Right? Yeah, the Dr. Thugonomics song hit. And as soon as I was like, fuck yes. And then it's showing the fucking Titantron and it's Punk Life bouncing back and forth. I was like, oh my God. And then Punk comes out dressed exactly like Cena would way back then, but in a fucking Chicago Cubs jersey. Let's fucking go. Yeah. Like, it was awesome. And then he comes out and fucking spits his own rap dissing Cena in... It was amazing. Like, I thought the pipe bomb last week was amazing, and I didn't know how the fuck they were going to top it. They fucking topped it.
I was going to say the same. They fucking topped it.
They topped it.
I was like, how are they going to go to the go home show? And
yeah.
I was like...
And I think this just, not I don't want to end it on a negative, but I don't think this will, but I feel like it really just goes to show that having this match at Night of Champions is so fucking out of place. So out of place. At the least, at the very minimum, this should have been SummerSlam. It's just, it's so, this feels way bigger than Night of Champions.
This is the biggest moment in Cena's run in his retirement, and it's
it might go down as the biggest moment in his retirement tour.
Yeah.
In general, like, not just because I know you were saying like to this point, right? Yeah, and it might end up still going down as the biggest.
It just feels so
by
big.
The end of it too.
It just feels.
It does. It feels huge, and this is like a classic fucking feud, like classic WWE feud. You have these fucking, you have all the history. Violent. No, exactly. Like the most violence was the FU through the table last week, right? You have this fucking the plagiarized pipe bomb. Now you have the fucking plagiarized character work, right? Like, this feels like DX coming out as Vince and Shane, right? It feels like, I'm drawing a blank on what I wanted to say, but there have been multiple times over, since the Attitude Era, really, right, where we've had like people come out dressed up as somebody else or pretending to be somebody else.
As The Rock,
Miz coming out as The Rock. Yeah, that's a great one too, right? Like, we've had so many moments, and it's just, this is what that feels like. It feels huge. It feels so big, and it's because it is, and it should be. And it just, Night of Champions just isn't the right night or the right venue. It's not the right time in the tour. So that I think that's the only downside and the only bummer to this. But
I agree. I think this should have been, like I said last week, this should have been like the culmination of the retirement tour because of their history, and they're showing us exactly why right now. Because they have so much chemistry, not just in the ring, but just the building
Yeah,
blocks to it.
yeah, just their ability to play off each other and the mic work and the history that they have that they can feed off of. It's so huge and it's awesome. It's seriously like it's the most gripping stuff in wrestling right now.
Absolutely. And I was completely shocked last night when he came out like
too.
there's no way I
was just
thought
like,
that
what?
anything was going to top the pipe bomb from last week. And then they did it.
They did it.
And that just goes to show you like how good Punk is with words. I know there's planning going on, but like
yeah.
Punk being able to top that moment, like
Yeah.
it's just incredible.
And I love too that it was like Cena got his short little spit in, and then this happened, and he came out and he did the whole thing, and then that was it.
Yeah.
There was no physicality. There was no rebuttal from Cena. It was that, Punk just left Cena speechless in the ring.
It looked legit. Like they made it feel real.
Yeah.
Like
Like,
it looked like Cena
Cena's old
had
music
no
hit, and he
idea.
was like, what the fuck is going on right now?
It took him
it looked like it took him by surprise.
which was
for
cool
sure.
because that was what Cena said is nothing you can do
yeah.
can top it basically.
Yeah.
And then he did.
Yeah.
Which was so cool.
It was great.
It was incredible.
It was awesome. Well, that brings us over to our banger of the week this week, Tim.
Well, up until basic Punkonomics, it was going to be the main event of Raw, but then that happened last night, and I was just like, I was just cheesing over there and just, I can't love it anymore. It was incredible. It was everything this feud has built up to. It's the last time they'll face each other, essentially, and I loved it. Loved it.
Yeah, that's mine too. I wrote Punk hands down. I also too was like, the main event, Cody and Jay was so fucking good. And if banger of the week was strictly a match,
Yeah,
absolutely
it
no
wins.
doubt. But it is not. It is open to anything that takes place throughout the week of wrestling. Sometimes on other brands and shows and stuff that we don't even cover.
Yeah.
And CM Punk, that promo last night was awesome.
good.
It was one of the best things we've seen in a long time. So
Yeah.
I loved it.
Back-to-back weeks, it goes to Cena Punk.
Yep. Yeah. But the opposite.
Yeah.
Right? Which
Yeah.
is awesome because last week we were like Cena's pipe bomb. It was amazing. And now this week it's fucking Punk ripping off his fucking Dr. Thugonomics. That's so fucking dope.
It was so good.
And I don't know if there's a better person either to have done it.
No, absolutely
Like,
not.
CM Punk is the guy. If you're going to have somebody fucking recreate the Dr. Thugonomics character, it's Punk.
Yeah.
Being, like, making a caricature of that character, he's too fucking good at it.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
That leads us to Belt's question of the week. I think this was a pretty tough question. I asked it, and then I was like reading it. I'm like, it's a pretty tough question.
Yeah, I agree.
When
Because there's different eras of this.
Yeah.
Right?
and I don't care if you went world heavyweight or I was trying to emphasize WWE, like the main WWE heavyweight champion. So lineage.
Wait, so...
There's the big gold. I'm talking about WWE's main title. But if
so like the one Cena has.
yes, but if you went with the world,
Well, because you said heavyweight, and that's not what it's called. It's just
it's the undisputed. But
It's just, or just the WWE Championship, right?
whatever way you went,
So I went specifically with the World Heavyweight Championship, because that's what I
that's
thought
fine.
you were referencing.
That's fine. So,
My
question is, when did the WWE Heavyweight Champion feel the biggest, and why was there a single wrestler that made it feel that big?
Yeah. So again, I took this as the World Heavyweight Championship, because I thought that's what, like, you were referring to the new World Heavyweight title as was the WWE Heavyweight. Does that make sense? So that's why I took it that way. And so I was going with the lineage of that from when essentially the WCW title became
Okay.
the WWE World Heavyweight Champion.
there's a lot of history in that title too. So
Right? Yeah.
I went the other way, so it makes it perfect.
It actually, it kind of works out. And so when did it feel the biggest and why? And again, I'm not talking WCW.
Yeah.
I'm just talking when it became WWE. I kind of gave a time frame here, not like a specific year, but I gave a specific year range. And I wrote I feel like 2005 to 2009 was a really big time for the World Heavyweight Championship. And I couldn't single out a specific wrestler, but I have two that are like the two biggest ones on my mind, and it's Batista and The Undertaker.
Yeah, I would
They had a
agree with
lot
that.
of battles back and forth with that specific title, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just feel like when I think of the big gold from the mid 2000s, I picture it being around Batista's waist or
Yeah.
around Taker's waist, with Triple H probably being a close runner-up there.
Yeah.
Right? But to me, it was like Batista and Taker, and that time frame, those like 5 years there, I think were just like really big in my mind for me.
Yeah,
So
I like it. I agree. I think I definitely like Triple H first comes to mind just because he was the inaugural, but then there's kind of like some negativity behind him being the champion, whereas Batista was just like, I dig this, so I like that. All right, so I went with the WWE, the undisputed, whatever you want to call it now.
it's called the WWE Championship.
WWE Championship.
You got the World Heavyweight and the WWE. That's the easiest way to determine the difference between the two.
So it's hard to argue that Roman kind of made it feel the biggest recently. Like it's just, but I know that a lot of people were like, he was gone a lot and didn't defend it a lot. So there's just a couple moments, and I did dwindle it down to one time frame. But I felt like CM Punk winning in 2011 at Money in the Bank, like I thought that was a huge moment for it. There were stakes at it. He was leaving. We didn't know if his contract was renewed. I thought that was big, but that wasn't it for me. It was 2002 when Brock won it from Rock and at SummerSlam, and then it just kind of concluded like everything from the Attitude Era, from the invasion angle. There was so much storyline that the title felt kind of second fiddle to everything.
Yeah.
And Brock kind of brought that back. Like there was good storyline with Brock as champion, but it felt like a big championship.
Yeah.
And then him and Kurt Angle just going back and forth. There was actual lengthy title reigns during that Brock-Kurt Angle feud. And so that's when it felt like the biggest to me, felt meaningful. It was just, it got past the invasion storyline. It got past the Vince McMahon Stone Cold storyline, or when it was hot potatoed between Triple H, Rock, Stone Cold, like all those guys during the Attitude Era. It was just, I thought Brock and Kurt Angle just kind of brought it back to being a big title.
I like that. Yeah.
And that was
good.
that was mine.
That's good. That's a solid answer. That brings us over to Blockbusters!
Cut and action.
Oh. Alrighty. We got 4 movies this week to talk about. I think since we kind of broke it up into how we're doing things now, I think this is the first time where we only...
There were...
I think, I think 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
I think 2 weeks ago
yeah.
was only movies. Anyways. The Roofman. This movie is called The Roofman. The synopsis for it is: a former U.S. Army Reserve officer escapes from prison after robbing McDonald's restaurants and hides out in toy stores before being recaptured. The cast of this is Channing Tatum, Kristen Dunst, Peter Dinklage, Lakeith Stanfield. I think I'm saying that correctly. Or it could be Lakeith. I'm not totally sure. And Ben Mendelsohn. The release date will be October 10th of this year, and it will be out in theaters. This is based on a true story which I'd never even heard of this story before.
Me
but I
neither.
saw this. So, but yeah, Channing Tatum plays the main character there, where he's the one that went to prison, escaped, he's on the run, and he's hiding out in the walls of a Toys R Us.
It's awesome.
It is. It's great.
I think as a kid, I wanted.
He's not doing anything like violent, bad, nothing like that. Just a little bit of robbery and B&E, and he's the trailer for this just makes it look phenomenal, and it makes it look fun, which I don't know if that's necessarily like what you want.
Yeah.
Hey, look how fun it is to be a criminal, everybody. But it does have like a more lightheartedness feel to it. There's like a love story involved here as well. Mm-hmm. You have like what looks to be almost like almost like employee of the month-ish
A little bit, yeah.
type of feud almost between Channing Tatum and what looks like it's going to be Peter Dinklage's character. I don't know. It looks great. I'm stoked. I'm here for the whole cast are amazing. Mm-hmm. Just fantastic actors and actresses. But I'm here for pretty much everything Channing Tatum, and this is right up my alley. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think this has got to be one of the most excited I am for a movie after watching this trailer. Like, it legit looks so good. Channing Tatum is great. I love that his name is Jeff.
Yeah.
My name is Jeff.
My name's Jeff.
I just thought that was cool.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've seen Kristen Dunst in anything.
Yeah.
And then we've been saying Peter Dinklage a lot recently. So
He's in a ton of stuff.
great cast. I'm super excited. You said it, based on a true story, and I'm here for any of those kind of things.
Yeah.
Looks funny, exciting. I'm excited for this one. Really, really, really excited.
Same. Next up, we have Eden. The synopsis is set between the two world wars. The film unravels the shocking true story of a group of disillusioned Europeans who abandon civilization, convinced that society is corrupting humanity's true nature. Seeking paradise, they settle on a remote, uninhabited island in the Galapagos, only to discover that the greatest threat isn't the brutal climate or deadly wildlife, but each other. As tension spiral and desperation takes hold, a twisted power struggle unfolds, leading to betrayal, violence, and the chilling, still unsolved deaths of half the colony. The cast is Jude Law, Ana de Armas, Sydney Sweeney, Vanessa Kirby, and Daniel Bruhl. The release date will be August 22nd of this year, so this just in a little over, month and a half or 2 months. What's the date today? A little less than 2 months, and will be in theaters.
Looks intense.
It looks fucking crazy.
It
looks
I
wild.
mean, it's a great cast again,
Fantastic cast, yeah.
but
Another
just
ensemble.
looks intense and crazy. It doesn't give a whole lot, but also gives away a lot, and it just looks like there's gonna be some brutalness to it. It kind of gives me Midsummer vibes a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
But then it's directed by Ron Howard, so
I
I have
know.
no clue what direction
I
this is
know.
gonna
You're
go
like,
in.
What? Yeah,
But-
there's certain directors where you're like, okay, I have an idea of how this is gonna play out,
Yeah,
right? Ron Howard directing a movie like this, completely wild card here. I have
after
no
watching
idea.
The Studio, I don't know.
I
Should we
know.
be afraid?
Yeah, and the fact that this again is another one that's based on a true story.
Yeah,
Right. And I just realized that the synopsis says the still unsolved deaths of half the colony. So like this to this day is still an unsolved situation. So I'm even more excited to see what happens in this.
yeah,
I don't know, man.
It
Ana de
looks-
Armas is unhinged in this fucking trailer though.
yeah.
Look, it's wild. I'm here for it. I'm excited.
Me too.
Talk about unhinged. Fuck me.
The Strangers Chapter 2. I know I mentioned it. It was like one of the things I'm excited for in 2025. I believe I mentioned. So it could have easily been in our Fred section, but this is the first official.
No, because this is yeah. We've talked that Fred is for things that don't have trailers yet.
This is
or follow up trailers.
yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And this section is for like when we get the trailer all of the information and we can actually fully put it out. So
Yeah.
no, I think this was right. I think that's the right spot for it.
All right, perfect. So, Strangers, Chapter 2, the synopsis. The strangers are back, more brutal and relentless than ever. When they learn that one of their victims, Maya, is still alive, they return to finish what they've started. With nowhere to run and no one to trust, Maya must survive another horrific chapter of terror as the strangers, driven by a senseless, unceasing purpose, pursue her, more than willing to kill anyone who stands in their way. Cast, Madeline Pesh. Release date, September 26th of this year, and the platforms is in theaters.
It comes out on my birthday.
Hell yeah.
Dude, first off, this is The Strangers meets Halloween 2.
I wrote the same thing.
Like, I was like, she wakes up in the hospital and then it's just like she comes out. I was like, is this Laurie Strode? I
Yep.
was like, what the fuck is going on? But now there's 3 or 4 fucking people that are after her now, and I'm like, oh my god. And like, I don't mean that in like a bad way in any way, shape, or form. Like, I'm not saying, oh, they're just knocking off Halloween 2, because I'm sure there's more than just the hospital sequence here. But the hospital sequence, I was like, this is very like really giving me the feels of Halloween 2. So
I literally said the same thing. Why are hospitals always empty in scary movies?
I know, right? What is going on?
They do not close. There's people walking around.
Yeah, there's there is staff everywhere. I have spent the night in a hospital when our daughter was born. I spent 2 nights in the hospital. Yeah, that's not how it is.
This trailer is just intense, to say the least. It's one of those anxiety-driven ones. Again, the running axe man. When do you ever see a villain sprinting?
Just straight up sprinting.
Like, you don't see that. They're always just walking and catch up to someone. This guy's sprinting.
Sprinting down the hallway, wielding an axe. Yes.
The
Very
Strangers
creepy.
has always been a like scary movie in my heart. The Liv Tyler one was great. I enjoyed the chapter 1 to this one, and really excited for the full trilogy to come out.
I'm gonna be honest, I still have not seen the first chapter yet. I need to.
You need to.
And now, especially after watching this trailer, I'm like, fuck, I need to.
Yeah.
Horror movies are a little harder for me to watch at home now.
Yeah.
My wife can't stand them, and my daughter is getting to the age now where I got to be careful what I'm watching around her. So,
And then lastly, the like 2 scenes that really stuck out was the hair pull.
Oh my god,
And then
that made me hurt. That made me cringe.
And then in the room when you think it's closed off,
She
and then
closed
she's
the door and
right
just
behind
standing,
her,
just the
and I
turn,
was just like,
face to face.
fuck.
Like, oh my lord.
So good.
Yeah.
So good. I'm
Yep.
really excited for this. Lastly, Guns Up.
This looks fucking awesome.
Guns Up. Synopsis. On the brink of leaving the family, a mob henchman's final job goes off the rails. With the clock ticking, the ex-cop has one night to get his unsuspecting family out of the city before he gets snuffed out. Cast is Kevin James, Christina Ricci, and Luis Guzman. Release date is July 18th of this year, and it's going to be out in theaters. Guns Up, more like Funds Up.
Yeah, dude.
We get Kevin James in an action. Like,
I know.
Like, you get comedy in, for at least from the trailer, but
Oh, for sure.
this is full on action. He's an action star.
Yeah, dude. I wouldn't be me. It wouldn't be me if I didn't yawn throughout the show, dude. I love this because it's like first off, the synopsis alludes to it where it says get his unsuspecting family out of unsuspecting family. And then the trailer, you're going through it and you're getting an idea that Christina Ricci knows about his life.
Yeah.
And that, she's in on the idea of trying to keep the kids, innocent, right?
Yeah.
God damn it. I feel like Christina Ricci is also a part of like an ex-mob member or something, because all of a sudden she's in on this shit and she's fucking...
They're both John Wick in it.
Yeah. I love that. And is Dad John Wick? And then the girl, I think Dad married John Wick. And then it cuts to Christina Ricci doing some crazy shit. I was like, oh my God, it looks awesome. It looks fantastic. I'm stoked.
It looks great. Christina Ricci looks stunning. And,
Yeah, she looks great.
I'm excited for this one, to
Yeah.
say the least. Fred! Follow up, rumors, early development, Sawverse. Some news broke that Blumhouse has acquired Twisted Pictures, part of Lionsgate and the production of the Saw movies. And so that reunites James Wan back with Saw, the original creator of Saw, along with, I forget his name, but he starred in the movie as well. But it gets to come back home, essentially. And James Wan released a little thank you letter, and he's excited to get back into it. And I love the Saw movies, and I'm really excited to see his vision coming back to the series because, while overall I really enjoy it, there was a big, step down in the later movies.
Oh yeah, definitely a lull
versus what was earlier done.
Yeah.
So hopefully
the first 3 were
just incredible,
killer.
Yeah,
the 4th one was still good.
Yeah,
and then I think it definitely
dropped off. But I mean, I still enjoyed them for what they were and everything. But it's exciting to get James Wan back in this. So
let's go.
Really excited for that. Lionsgate is overall still going to be the one releasing it, but Blumhouse and James Wan get to put their touch on it.
Yeah.
So super excited for that.
We got the final trailer for the Fantastic Four First Steps. I mean, dude, this was showed quite a bit more. We got a bearded thing.
Mm-hmm. That was cool.
A rock beard. I like it. I think it's awesome.
I thought it was cool to see
and
that.
I think it definitely helps to further just allude to the fact that this movie is not going to take place in a single time frame. There's going to be a time jump of some form, whether it's just months or, by the end of it could be a couple years. Who knows? But there's definitely going to be a time frame because the thing's letting his rock beard grow.
Yeah.
And also, probably the more obvious is the fact that you find out in the movie that she's pregnant, that Sue Storm's pregnant, and you see the baby. So you're getting that time frame, right? At least 6 months.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, and I don't know. I just I feel like we saw quite a bit more of the action involved here. I know that's been one of the I guess kind of things online about the recent trailers is like, oh, we're not seeing like any of the actual action stuff take place, and it's also like
that.
Yeah, you want to see the whole. You want to see the whole fucking movie in the trailer? Shut the fuck up. But you did get a little bit more of a glimpse into some of it. You got a little bit of a better look at some of their powers, a little bit more too.
Especially
Mr. Fantastic. It looks good, and I think that's the important part here, is because his powers might be some of the hardest to make look good. Now, Marvel had the kind of warm up with Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
Right? Because she has moderately similar stretching abilities, at least.
Yeah.
Right? And so they were able to at least play that out in that show. I'm assuming to make sure that they could get the Fantastic Four fucking right. And so far, everything looks great. There's like not a single thing about this that I'm worried about or anything. Everything that we've seen so far, I think, has been cinematically just beautiful.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited about this.
Me too. Just a few takeaways, and I don't know if it means anything, but again, we don't see John Malkovich, and we've only seen the one glimpse, and it seems like he's getting like either they're trying to keep it secret, or he's not going to be in the movie anymore.
Yeah, I saw something about that like after they put out this last trailer, they also put out like a little press release type thing, and his name was no longer even on it. Natasha Lyonne's on it. Julia Garner's on it. Paul Walter Hauser's on it. Mm-hmm. And all three of them were plus John Malkovich in the previous one that they put out. But he wasn't on this one. So I don't know either. I hope he's in it. But if he was playing the character that was highly speculated that he was, it was like Red Ghost or something like that, where he is like he has some like super enhanced apes or something. Mm-hmm. That's the whole. Maybe it's better off and have John Malkovich play a little bit more of maybe a slightly better villain later on in the MCU if that's the move. I don't know. Yeah. We'll see. But
I heard that there's potentially a shorter runtime as well, so maybe that could be him getting cut out of this movie as well.
Yeah.
But overall, this trailer, I took 2 separate sentences, 2 words: big stakes. I feel like there's big stakes in this movie, and then one more word: grim. It doesn't look good for this. Like, what's gonna happen in the movie? But it looks awesome. I'm really excited for this one. They've done a really good job with these trailers and just hyping up the excitement for it. And I like that the clobbering time was teased throughout the whole trailer of this one.
I love it.
I thought that was really cool.
I absolutely love it. It was like that's just the cartoon version of me. Say it. I don't wanna say it. No.
That was awesome. Weapons.
Bro.
We get the second official trailer for this, and holy hell, man! It's just. The first trailer was crazy.
The first trailer was crazy in of the fact that it gave you nothing.
Yeah.
It gave you nothing other than kids running. This gives you enough to just be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What is going on?
It's going to be brutal. There's a lot of shock factor, I think, that are going to be thrown into there.
Yeah.
This is going to be a good one.
I'm very excited for this.
I like Josh Brolin is kind of playing detective. It kind of gives me, it's giving me like Long Legs vibes a little bit.
Yeah.
It's just
Julia Garner is in it also here. She's the school teacher that like everyone's kind of coming at, and the trailer really, really makes it up in the air as to like how you feel about her character, because you're like, did she have something to do with this? Like, what is going on? But or also, is it just a coincidence and she's actually like genuine? You don't know. Yeah. But I feel like I had a combo of kind of just making connections here of like things of like how I feel or how it makes me feel, or things I'm kind of correlating with it. Mm-hmm. And it's, oh god damn it, now I'm gonna fucking forget what the book's called. It's a James Patterson book, the Sound or something, but it's like this like supersonic sound thing happens, and it causes these people, or it causes anyone that's within a specific distance from it or whatever, it just causes these like hordes of people to just go crazy and literally just start running. Mm-hmm. And like they would trample each other. They would just like run until their feet and legs and everything were just like nubs and bloody, and like just that, like the book was wild. Yeah. And then it also the crazies.
Oh yeah.
Kind of like I was kind of like, oh, these two things like together could have just like produced this baby. And because you see what almost looks like zombie.
A little bit, yeah.
Like when like the one gal is like almost Shining-esque through the door. She looks like fucking zombie. Then you just see like the dude that just kind of looks like a normal dude, but just blood all down his face. He's just fucking running through the streets. Yeah. So you're just like, what is going on? And then you just keep
stabbing in the face.
Yeah, the stabbing of himself in the face. Jeez. You see the fucking just continue to see the montage of all these kids just running with their arms. It's just so creepy.
Yeah.
But goddamn, I'm excited for it. It looks
The
great.
marking for this already is just gold. So
Do you remember when this comes out?
no, I want to say it was late August or early September.
This one might have to be one that we go see together in theaters, because
I'm down.
I'm stoked for this. This is one of the most like excitement inducing for me movies that we've covered recently. All right, brings us over to our special segment of the week. It is our final episode of the month, which, as always, we do our binge cap. So we're rocking our June binge cap. Timmy, we'll want to just start with shows?
Yeah, we'll start with shows.
Or I guess you go through your whole thing.
I just
like
go
normal.
through my whole thing.
Shows and movies. What'd you watch?
All right, for shows, I finished
Good for you.
Your Friends and Neighbors.
Oh, sorry.
I finished Your Friends and Neighbors. Phenomenal show. Loved it. Loved every bit of it. I finished The Studio as well. Finished Paradise, finally. Holy hell. Great first season of that. Modern Family Season 6, so it seems like every month I'm finishing a season of that show. I got through a big chunk of Season 7 as well. This is the first time watch of Season 6 so far, so great stuff going on there. Going over to the movie side of things, we've watched Wild Robot, Heretic, They Live, and then just separately from the show, I've watched 28 Days Later, 28 Weeks Later. I watched Bride Wars, Mamma Mia, and the movie Drop, which we've talked about on this show. And
that's the date, right?
Yeah. I really, really like that one. Highly recommend that one.
Did you buy it, or
I did buy it?
You
yeah.
did buy it. Okay. I was like, is it out on streaming yet?
I don't know if it's streaming yet, but it's out on physical, so it's got to be streaming somewhere. I bet. But highly recommend that one. It's so good. I liked it a lot.
Awesome.
And that is my binge cap for June.
There you go. For me, I finished Paradise as well. The fucking show's absolutely amazing.
That episode of just what led to, or like when everything was going down, was so crazy. It's like episode 7 where it was just like everyone's panicking in the White House, and then it was getting the president onto the helicopter.
Oh my God. Yeah. That episode. Jesus.
So wild.
It's fucking wild.
That was
dude.
one of the best episodes ever.
It was. The whole fucking show is fantastic.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I was like, when the fuck is season 2 coming out? Because this is too goddamn good. I started and finished Platonic. Apple Plus, Seth Rogen, Rose Byrne.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Nice.
I think the show's fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I finished that, I believe, after, I think it just like started after I finished maybe The Studio, or
Yeah, I think it was pretty quickly after that.
I'm trying to think what else I would have been watching on Apple that I would have, because I don't have anything else on here. Anyways, but yeah, started, finished Platonic. I thought season 1 of that was great, and I'm assuming they're going to make a second season of it just because the way it ended. Mm-hmm. Seems like they definitely could, but I also could see if they didn't, that could have been a good way to end it also. So, but I'd be down for a second season. I did start Your Friends and Neighbors. I'm working my way through that still. We watched The Wild Robot, Heretic, They Live. And then I started and finished The Bondsman.
Oh, okay.
Did you finish it yet?
No, I haven't.
No.
Good.
I hope it gets fucking picked up somewhere else, dude. Yeah. I also started Ironheart. I'm fully caught up.
Nice.
On Ironheart.
Got through the 3 episodes.
Yep. Got through the 3. And I started, I think I'm through 2 or 3 episodes of The Better Sister.
Okay.
which is
Amazon
the one
Prime with Jessica
Biel and Elizabeth Banks that we talked about on the show.
Yeah.
I like it so far. I'm pretty hooked on it, and yeah, dude, that's along with the other regular stuff.
I know you watched Sing again. I saw it in your snaps. So
yep, did watch Sing. Watching Bluey. We watched Shrek. That's kind of the regular ones of the rotation.
Yeah.
We also we don't let Lainey we don't just let Lainey watch TV, but it's like in the morning we give her she always has like a little morning snack and her water while we drink our coffee and we watch Bluey, and then like certain times throughout the day we'll put on Sing or Shrek or something, but we only let her watch a few things kind of on rotation, just because we want her to be a kid. We don't want her to be a couch zombie that just relies on watching shows. So but she will end up watching a handful of more things in 2 days, because we will be downloading some things on Lindsay's iPad. That's like the only time that we will ever let her just be on a screen is if we're flying, and especially to Hawaii, because it's like a 6.5 hour flight. So it'll be the longest flight she's ever been on. So she'll be watching some more stuff there. But
nice, man. You got through a lot of seasons there, or a lot of TV stuff.
Yeah,
Bingecap is you've been solid.
I've been doing really well with the shows. I think that those are actually easier for me, because I can just watch one episode a day. Yeah. Or when I'm at work, when I am working, and on my prep period, if I'm grading or something, I could put an episode of something on. Yeah. Or a movie is harder, because I have a hard time I'm going to watch an hour of this movie tonight, and then I'm going to watch the rest of it tomorrow. I'm no, I have to fucking start and finish in one sitting type thing. So movies, I think, are a little harder for me right now, but been doing good on the TV shows. We have a Blockbusters game. The Triple B game show is back. We got a game in the Blockbuster section for Tim. This is... It's really just it's 5 things, and you're just trying to figure out what they are. And I don't think it's going to be too difficult for you. I wanted to kind of use this as a potential thing I could bring back in the future, that you could get a feel for today.
Okay.
So what this is I'm going to, one slide at a time, I'm going to pop up an AI generated photo of a human version of a cartoon character.
Oh, God.
And you got to try to guess what the cartoon character is.
Okay.
I will tell you, of the last one might be the hardest.
Okay.
The first one might be the second hardest, depending on where your mind goes.
Gotcha.
That's the thing. With the first one, I will tell you, the complexion of the AI generated photo does not match the voice actor of the actual character. I will tell you that.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I hope so.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So first picture. This is AI generated.
And this is
a cartoon character. Not necessarily, and like I said, it is a human version of the cartoon character. So none of these are human cartoons.
Gotcha.
Right. So it's not like Eric Cartman in a human form.
Gotcha. Okay.
They are cartoon.
Is it,
for the most part, animals of some form?
Is this I don't know exactly what the animal was, but it's giving me vibes of Madagascar, like the king monkey.
No. You want another guess?
I'll
give you 2 guesses each one.
Okay.
How about that?
All right, so we got not Madagascar.
The hair is going to be a real tell here, and the top teeth are going to be the 2 real tells here for you that are, if you're able to get on the wavelength with it, it's actually very obvious. But
is it donkey?
it's donkey.
The mohawk. And then when you said the teeth.
Yeah, that's where I was like, the teeth
The
are.
mohawk teeth.
Yeah,
That was a
because
good clue.
those teeth are significantly bigger than most people's normal teeth.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
I can see the two.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Okay. Now I'm.
Like
I'm
I
in
said,
the
I think
juices.
that one. That one could have potentially been the hardest or the second hardest, depending on how well you do with the fifth one. I think the next three are going to be ones that you'll be like, oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay. You ready? Next one.
Oh God. This is show or movie?
Primarily a show.
Oh.
I believe this was not something that I was super into.
Okay.
But I mean, there's been, I want to say there's been a movie at least, maybe that has utilized these characters. This is the main character.
God.
There were video games.
Video games?
I believe there's. I mean, yeah. I mean, I know of one that kind of swept the nation a few years ago on your phone. Toys, card game. You're gonna be so fucking mad.
Okay. Then I've just.
You had two guesses. Throw a guess.
Ash.
You're tracking. Look at the picture again. Ashes from what?
Pokemon.
You're look at the picture.
Brock.
No.
Yu-Gi-Oh. Pikachu. Damn it.
I told you it's not a human. It's not a human character.
Oh, that's right.
Right? It's like when you said Ash, I was like, how the fuck are you not getting? Look at it. It's a yellow shirt. It's a human version of the character. It's like the exact pose and face.
At least I got to Pokemon.
You were on Pokemon. You were right there. Yeah, it's Pikachu.
All right. That's
It's
a good one.
All right. Next up. All right. So 1 for 2 so far. 1 for 2. That one surprised me. I thought you were going to get that one. All right.
Nowhere near.
These next two, I think, like legit, I think are actually like.
I don't know.
I think you're good. I will be shocked if you don't get at least this one.
Oh, it's Scooby.
Scooby-Doo. Yeah, it's Scooby-Doo.
His necklace gave it away.
Yes, it did. Yeah. That's pretty good, huh?
That is a pretty good one.
Isn't
Yeah.
that crazy? They use the color of the collar for the sweatshirt and then the brown for the jeans and the boots.
I like it.
That's pretty good, huh? All right, yeah, Scooby-Doo. So 2 for 3.
Okay.
Next up, this one. I think there's a real tell in this one.
Okay.
Okay.
It's the hair, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
It's the hair. It's giving it away.
It's the hair. The shirt also.
It's. God, why can't I think of the hair? Like, that's what I'm fixated on here.
So that is hair on him.
Yeah.
The actual character.
All I can picture is those strands that are sticking up, though.
Yeah, that's all you want to focus on.
That's.
The actual character itself, that is not hair.
Is this? It's not hair.
It's not actually. It's intended to be hair, but it is not actually hair on top of the head.
Oh God.
It is a different
Yeah.
thing used for the hair of this specific character.
Okay.
Again, the shirt color, I will tell you, is a
It's
big.
a Quail Man. Doug.
Is not. Newer. Quite a bit newer.
Oh, is he gonna bug me one
Think
night?
of the hands, the face.
This one I really got no clue, but hold on.
Oh man.
Movie or show?
Movie.
Okay.
2 specifically.
Oh. Okay, now I know it.
What?
It's Olaf.
It is Olaf. Yes.
The hands,
That's like
the
fucking
hands, the hands.
Yeah. It's like spot on, huh?
Yeah. No,
That's what I was saying. I was like, it is meant to be hair, but it is not actually hair on his head.
That's a really good.
That's really
Without giving it away,
yeah.
like that's spot on.
That's really good, isn't
That's
it?
spot
When
on.
that popped up, I was like, holy shit.
All right, so this is potentially
Okay.
the most challenging.
I think it's the most. I do, yeah. So here's the 5th one. We'll see. But you could fucking get it right away too.
Oh well, that's
We'll see.
pointy dick.
Pointy dick.
Sorry, I got a Pokemon on the mind. There's a video where it's like, oh, that's this. It's a guy getting all the names wrong.
Yeah. I've seen that. That's right.
That's Pikachu.
Yeah.
Everyone knows Pikachu.
All right, here we go. 5th and final.
And it's not
This is
human. It's not
a human. Nope. This is
Okay.
a human version of this character. This is primarily a very long-running episodic TV show. There have been
So is
some
it-
movies based off of the show with the actual characters, but primarily.
Homer is not Homer. Is that a human? I don't know. Homer Simpson.
It's not Homer.
Okay.
I feel like the Simpsons you would classify
Yeah, they're
as
like
humans
human. Yeah,
in the
okay.
Simpson world, right? They're not like animals or anything like that.
Looking at the colors, we got blue, yellow, and we got
Okay, so picture
older gentleman.
I
grumpy
think-
guy.
that's definitely
That
you're
grumpy.
tracking there. You're definitely tracking. I think the shirt is pretty spot on here.
Okay.
And the pants are more or less kind of the color of, to a point, the character. Not just the pants that the character wears,
Yeah.
because this character doesn't necessarily wear pants.
Is it?
The head here is also a pretty good giveaway.
Oh, really?
The face, the head, the stance.
Oh.
I like this one might be actually one of the best like side by
Really?
sides when it pops up.
Is it Ren? Ren and Stimpy.
No. A little later,
Okay.
if I'm remembering correct network, but a little later, honestly, arguably one of the biggest cartoons of this network.
Oh shit.
If Ren and Stimpy is the network, I believe it was. I will say I feel this one's
Cat dog.
no, it is
Okay.
not. Okay, so that was your
Oh,
two
yeah, that
guesses.
was two guesses.
Squidward.
It's Squid. It totally fits.
It's Squidward.
It totally fits.
Yeah,
Ouch.
that's
But
what I
yeah,
was
I think
like.
that's probably the biggest show.
Yeah,
my channel.
Yeah, on Nickelodeon. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. That's I was like, I'm pretty sure Ren and Stimpy was Nickelodeon.
That is a good cyber.
Isn't that
It
good,
really
dude?
is.
Like when that popped up, I was like, oh my god! Like I was like,
If only
I think
the
it will
nose was
be-
a little bigger.
I
on the
know,
pic.
I know. I was like, I think it will be the hardest one, to just see that.
Yeah.
But I do think it's also like one of the best.
It represents each other well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Scoob was also.
Yeah.
I mean, on it, like all
I
of
think
them.
the Olaf one
Olaf
to me
was-
was like without giving it away, but
Yeah,
then when you
Olaf might have been the
reveal
best, yeah.
it was really good side by side. But this one,
What between the two, which one do you think was the harder one, Donkey or this?
Yeah. This one.
Well, I guess you got Donkey eventually. you didn't get this one, but
But that was with Clue, and then it's also getting acclimated with the game. So I think this one is tougher.
true.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. That's it.
That was fun.
So you went 3 for 5.
Yeah.
Not bad, and it was. I'm a little shocked about the Pikachu one. Honestly, I think you threw yourself forgetting about the human.
Yeah, I
the human
forgot about
thing.
the human side of things.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
All
All right.
Okay.
But I've seen this type of game a lot.
Yeah.
There's two guys I follow on TikTok specifically that do that. They're brothers that do this type of thing, and they'll do like, can you guess these 5 movies from The Cookie?
Oh.
And it's just like a picture from like a screen grab from one of the scenes in the movie where a cookie was featured, right?
Oh, wow.
And the brothers, going through it, type of thing. And then they did this specifically, but with specifically redhead characters, like redhead cartoon characters. So it was like Nigel Thornberry, and it was really good. It was solid, but I didn't want to just like rip off what they're doing. So
I like it.
I took the idea, but I made it my own. All right, awesome.
Blockbusters
Finally.
question of the week. I also pose this question. Family time. Think back to when you were younger. Was there a movie that was watched over and over that seemed to bring the family together where, just no matter what, you put the movie on, get the family watching together? What one sticks out to you?
Yeah, this is kind of a tough question for me because initially I was thinking like me, my 2 brothers, my parents.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, that wasn't really a thing for us. It wasn't really like my parents split when I was so young.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Like my parents split when I was in kindergarten. Right. So like I don't really have one where like that in reference to family in that way, at least. But the thing that did pop into my mind was once my parents did split, my dad moved back over to Issaquah. He was living with his parents for a little while. And when we go over and visit on weekends, we'd be staying at their place. Well, my cousins, my dad's sister's kids, they would also come over, and then it would be all like the 5 of us all hanging out at Grandma and Grandpa's house. And what we would, the movie that I like specifically remember is like the OG Wizard of Oz.
Oh, okay.
Because I feel like we put it on, I feel like all the time. And that was just like good memories of watching that movie with I'm the youngest of all 5.
Yeah.
And so, my cousin Julia, who's between me and Nathan, then James, who's a year younger than Jason, and then Jason's the oldest. So all 5 of us just would watch the OG Wizard of Oz among, some other just like old time movies because where's Grandma and Grandpa's house? That's what they had.
Yeah.
Right. So, but yeah, that was the one that came to my mind the most. What about you?
I gotta give this shout out to Chris because he's the one that really forced this movie upon us. But then it seemed to get everyone together and watch this movie. So, Home Alone 2. It was one of his favorite movies, and I would roll my eyes every time it was back on the TV. I'm pretty sure he wore that VHS tape out, but once it was on, we were all watching.
Yeah, you're all hooked on it.
Laughing and having a great time, and it's so good. It's just such a good movie, and it makes me think of my family a lot. And I like those moments, and we could still quote it to this day.
Yep,
and
for sure.
And just enjoy it. I bet if we threw it on right now, we would all just be sitting down watching it.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
Yeah, and it wouldn't matter what. It wasn't just a Christmas movie for us. It was all year long. So.
And I had a couple like that, like Home Alone definitely popped in my mind because I'm like, oh yeah, like every Christmas we would watch Home Alone.
Yeah.
And then every Christmas that my dad specifically, as we got a little older, we would watch Lethal Weapon. Right.
Yeah.
And it was just, but I was like, that's more of just like, because it's the holidays.
Yeah.
That's not like this, where it's just like any time of the year you put a movie on. So that's why I didn't go with those. And then I also almost wanted to say Austin Powers Gold Member because Nathan, when that movie first came out, Nathan had that motherfucker on 7 times a day, I swear to God. And I loved it too. And so, and like everyone else hated the fact that me and Nathan would watch that movie so fucking much and we would quote the shit out of it. But I was like, that's not really the whole family. That was just me and Nathan and pissing the rest of the family off. So I was like, fuck. But yeah, awesome, dude. That was a good question. Man. I like that. That was solid. That was a little bit of a curveball, I guess, from some of like the typical question that we have on here. So I like that. That was good.
All right, man.
Fucking
episode 56.
56. Cheers, dog.
Let's fucking